Your business needs help. 56.1 million employees are employed by small businesses in the United States, and 99% of all U.S. establishments are small businesses under 250 employees. That means that your business should be listening to the only podcast dedicated to small business success. That's Growth Success Radio, growthsuccessradio.com. Welcome to this week's episode of Growth Success Radio. And welcome to episode 35 of Growth Success Radio. I am your co-host, Scott Gombar. Put my picture before Eugene starts messaging or texting or something. With me, of course, is my co-host who's with us every week, Eugene Resnitsky. And today we have Josh Kebabian of Kebabians Rugs. This show is sponsored by Traeger Insurance and Scott Gombar Digital Marketing. We're live every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And if you want to watch or listen to past episodes, just go to growthsuccessradio.com. Josh is on there every week. I know he is. I've seen him there. Of course. We are also on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Sprout Connections, and a bunch of other places. But as I mentioned, the show is co-sponsored by Traeger Insurance and Scott Gombar Digital Marketing. So I'm going to let Mr. Resnitsky over there talk to us about Traeger Insurance.
Thanks, Scott. Nice.
Einar.
So my name is Eugene Resnitsky. I am co-owner of Traeger Insurance Group. We are an independent insurance agency based out of Meriden, Connecticut. What independent means is we take our clients' information and we go out to market to find them the best price for the most optimal coverage. My role within the agency is just someone who speaks insurance so my clients don't have to. In reality, I am president of commercial lines, so I pretty much speak insurance for business owners.
He loves to say he's president. Does that make your wife the first lady? The floater?
Yes. When you own the agency, you can call yourself whatever you want.
I know. I call myself names too. So as we mentioned earlier, I am the owner of a digital marketing agency, and what we do is we build and grow your online platforms, whether it's social media, your website, whether we're doing it through Google. I am a Google certified partner. We do all of that so that you can reap the rewards and grow your revenue. And as I said, we didn't do our updates yet, Eugene. I forgot. So, Josh, every week we also do an update. Wow, I can't talk. I got baked yesterday. Wait, that did not sound right. I was out in the sun. Playing golf. The sun.
Right, if you say so.
Yeah. Oh, you saw Eugene's face just now. Oh my God. All right. No, I don't do any of that. No. I don't even drink. Never mind. So, Josh, every week we provide updates for our respective industries. So, Eugene, fire away.
All right.
So I was reading an article actually today, and it was talking about how hacking is up big time in the first half of 2016. So mainly towards banks, financial institutions, even insurance companies, pretty much people that have client data, personal data like social security numbers, date of birth, addresses are subject to getting hacked, and it's increasing. So the reason I bring this up is there's actually coverage people can purchase for their business to protect against them if they do get hacked. So the coverage works both ways to protect your costs associated with, because if you get hacked, you have to notify everybody pretty much in your business client base that you've been hacked and offer them credit monitoring and all these other slew of costs. And you can also get third-party coverage. So if somebody actually ends up suing you because they got damaged because they were actually hacked, so you could have coverage that way. So it's both first and third-party coverages. So if you have any questions, you can contact me or contact your agent, because that's something that's going to become even more prevalent as the years go by.
We'd prefer you contact Eugene.
Yes.
Yes. For me, if you guys are familiar with verified accounts on Twitter, the little blue check mark next to some of the accounts, or the celebrities and so forth, well, they're going to expand that, and more people can now get verified on Twitter. They're going to have a form on Twitter supposedly this week, but I haven't seen it yet, so maybe next week. So now we could all become Twitter superstars. Right, Eugene?
Yes.
Yes, he wants to be a Twitter superstar. So
Tweet all day.
What's that?
The tweet all day.
That's
So
right. Tweet at people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have with us today Josh Kebabian of Kebabians Rugs. Before he does his intro, I want everybody to know, if you do have questions, comments, or anything appropriate to our show, no talk of getting baked, feel free to ask in the chat, and we will answer it to the best of our abilities. So Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself and about Kebabians Rugs.
Sure. So my name's Josh Kebabian. I work for Kebabians Rugs. We're located in downtown New Haven, Connecticut, and we're actually the oldest business of our kind since 1882. So we import top quality rugs from all around the world, countries such as Iran, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Afghanistan, and more. And we service what we sell. And behind me you can see some of the styles that we carry. This is a modern rug behind me. To my left are something more traditional. That's an Afghan Hariz. And this is a Gabe to my right. I'm sitting on our stacks right now, so you can kind of get an idea of some of the types of rugs we carry. But we're only selling top quality handmade rugs.
All right, so I want you to take each rug and one by one put them in front of the camera.
Well, we got about over 2,000, so I think that's going to take the rest of the day and into tomorrow.
That doesn't work anyways.
So I was going to say, Eugene doesn't do anything, so don't worry about it. He played 18. I only had time to play 9 holes yesterday. He played 18.
Yeah, well, that's only because he had family obligations.
That's right. I had to bring my son to karate and piano, but awesome.
All right, so Josh, can you give us a little bit of the history of Kebabians? Because I know you guys have a rich history.
I missed part of that. It kind of sped up. Can you repeat?
Can you give us a history of Kebabians Rugs? Because I know your history dates pretty far back.
Yeah, so the business started when my great uncle immigrated to. He was an Armenian immigrant from Turkey, and he came over through some kind of missionary program where they recruited. Some U.S. organization recruited people to come to the U.S. to study. And so he came over and he started a business in importing handmade rugs to pay his way through Yale. That's really how the business started. And since then it's been in the family business, continued in the same family. And I'm 5th generation today. So I joined the business about almost 2 years ago now.
Awesome. Been around for a while, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what type of marketing do you have in place today for Kebabians, and what has worked for you in the past?
That's a good question. So for marketing, I think that a part of our advantage is simply being around so long. People in the area simply just know we're here. But using today's means of marketing has been big for us. I mean, I'm just getting into blogging and learning how to do that effectively.
We're going to talk about that shortly.
Yeah, so that's been good for just educating potential customers and just putting yourself out there, doing things like that. Where you really have to be clear on who you are and your value proposition in order to market to someone you come in contact with on the street even. You know, can you tell them 20 to 30 seconds who you are and what you do and keep them interested. Marketing and just telling who you are and telling the truth. I think that's effective marketing to me, and I think we've done a good job at that. And our customers are our best marketers. Word of mouth advertising has been humongous for us.
That's awesome. I think we already have our success hack: truth in marketing, not truth in advertising, truth in marketing. How about that?
Yeah. Word of mouth is best because it's free.
Will we get in trouble for saying truth in marketing?
No, you already got in trouble for saying you're baked, so.
Wait till my wife hears that one.
Oh my gosh.
So, Josh, as you mentioned, you guys sell like the highest quality Oriental and Persian rugs, but a lot of people would consider your price points at the very high of the spectrum.
Yep.
Has staying at that high, perceived price point been successful for you guys?
Well, I just want to qualify that first. There is, I think, some people might have the false impression that everything's like a $10,000 antique Persian rug or something like that. But a lot of the rugs we carry in room size are even less than $4,000. So there's, make sure that we're talking about the same thing. But that being said, yeah, there's a huge range in qualities that even within like quality rugs, there's a huge range in the qualities. Mm-hmm. And when you get into the antiques and that kind of thing, it comes down to the rarity of the piece, the condition. There's just so many factors that can dictate the price of something. And if something's irreplaceable, like many antique rugs are, they're significantly more valuable. That being said, we are selling a quality product. But I think because we're selling something that's we're selling a non-commoditized product. If we were selling, VCRs, we'd be out of business. If we were selling, if you were in the taxi business and Uber had just come 2 years ago, my business might be worth 10 cents on the dollar. But we're selling something that is unique, and the art form is exactly the same. And the weaving technique is the same as it was 2,500 years ago. There's, the innovation in this industry is limited because a hand-knotted rug is, there's no replacement for a hand-knotted rug. And there's people that always want that quality. They're always going to exist. And even though our generation's been called the IKEA generation, there's still going to be some people. We just know that demographically it's not a fast-growing industry.
So it's I'm going to veer off topic for a second. It's interesting you mentioned IKEA, right? And so IKEA just had a recall on their chest of drawers, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Because they're falling over on kids or something. I don't know. But so they have a commercial, and I see this commercial all the time. I don't even watch that much TV, and I've probably seen the commercial like a dozen times now. Has, I know the answer. I'm sure anybody listening knows the answer. Has there ever been a recall on Oriental rugs?
Oh, well, not in hand-knotted Oriental rugs that I know of. They're all, because they're all unique. I mean,
right.
And
so
there's never been a recall on them. Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to make is, and the title of our show is you get what you pay for, right? So if we're the IKEA generation, and I think the only thing I've ever bought IKEA was a bookcase. But if we're the IKEA generation, with that being said, you're going there because it's cheaper to buy furniture there than it is at on whatever high-end furniture store there is, and I don't think they sell rugs. So, but at the end of the day, you have more of a chance of having a recall or having something break or someone getting hurt because of that. I think,
right.
So that's something. There's something to be said for that.
Well, it's equated to going out and going to Walmart and buying a Timex watch or going and buying a Rolex.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing. You can either buy a $20 rug at IKEA,
right,
might last you a winter, or you can go buy a little bit more expensive rug at Kebabians that's going to last you 10, 15, 20 years and more generations.
Right.
Well.
It's important to note, though, that if some people simply don't want that. They don't want an heirloom rug, and not everything we sell is by any means a rug that's going to last 100 years. I mean, a lot of the Persians are extremely durable and well, but we're selling stuff that's going to at least last 10 years at a bare minimum. But the people going to IKEA to purchase anything, they're going for a specific purchase to fill an immediate need,
Right.
and that's okay. I recognize that, and I've gone to IKEA. It's just a different need, though, and as long as people know that, I think we're trying to catch and educate the customer that has the means and does want quality, but sadly gets something they didn't expect they were getting for too high of a price. We want to catch that customer. We have had people actually, IKEA is pretty close to us, go to IKEA and actually get rugs from us. But typically it's a completely different mindset going in.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it earlier, but where do you import your rugs from?
We've imported them from all over the Orient, and Oriental just means Eastern, and Eastern just means Asia. So very simply, Oriental rugs are handmade rugs from Asia. That being said, we've imported from most rug-producing countries, and probably in the lifespan of Kebabians, every rug-producing country. We're most heavily importing now from Nepal and Afghanistan and Iran. Now that trade has opened up with Iran, sanctions were lifted through Obama's new policies. Now we're getting rugs from Iran. So those are the three big ones now.
So again, you just kind of touched on it a little bit, but what have you ever experienced difficulties importing from any of those countries or regions? Like, so you just mentioned the trade sanctions with Iran. Has there been anything else?
Thankfully, we haven't run into problems in Afghanistan, despite you thinking, wow, I mean, that's a difficult place to do business, right? And you can get insurance for these types of things, and we do. But our sample size is just, we just have one sample size, our business. I'm sure there's businesses that have had challenges. Thankfully, we haven't had anything get lost in transit, like in overseas imports or anything like that. It's just the sanctions with Iran that made it difficult for us to get certain types of rugs at certain points in time.
All right, so this is the point in our show. We have a little break to remind anybody watching that we are live every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And right now we are still giving away one-year memberships to Network and Golf. If you do want that membership, and this is a premium membership, by the way, you can go to golfandnetwork.com to sign up for that membership. And if you want to watch past episodes, you can always go to growsuccessradio.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Sprout Connections, and I don't know, there's probably a bunch of other places out there you could find it. Or you could just go to growsuccessradio.com. I think I said that already. And now Eugene's going to ask another question.
Thanks, Scott.
No problem.
Thanks for giving me permission.
I saw you doze off a little bit, so I wanted to.
No.
You always doze off when I'm talking. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, everybody does. I'm surprised our guest survives the show.
Josh is a good guy, unlike you. So.
That's true. So, Josh,
you haven't gotten to know me well enough.
Josh, so we were having lunch the other day, and we were talking about, the longevity in your business and how long that you guys have been around. And I think I brought up the point that you guys might be probably one of the oldest small businesses in the United States. I mean, we talked about other companies that have been around longer, but bigger in size. In terms of small business, you guys might be the oldest small business in the U.S.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, do you know if that's true? Have you done any more follow-up research? Because I tried. I found some things. Mm-hmm. And second, and more importantly, what do you attribute to your longevity?
Yeah. First of all, I do not know the answer to that. I haven't. The history is interesting, and it's exciting. I love that we come from that. I don't spend a lot of time thinking of it. I think that it's, I think that's a layer of the business that that's not like the first thing I share with people when I tell people about it. That might help, for some people, just saying that a few layers down after talking about what you do generally in the business, it'll build another layer of trust. Like, wow, you've been around that long. The business probably has integrity. The business probably is doing something right to have lasted that long. But so I guess I guess there would be three things that I would say have been huge for Kebabians over the long haul. And I actually wrote these down. So one thing is that we have clarity, and we know who we are, and we know our industry inside and out. So you really have to be clear on what it is you're selling. Like we were just talking about the IKEA customer. I know that's not my customer. So I'm not going to. So we know the product we sell. We know who our customer is. It really starts there, and you have to have crystal clear clarity on that, and you have to know your industry well. The second thing I would say is that we communicate our value proposition to our customers effectively. You can't assume your customer just knows. Just because you have all the knowledge, you have to know how to share that knowledge with them, either using today's means of marketing, blogging, all these types of things, and also just communicating it effectively in ways that they can understand. If you can use their own words, for example, when they ask you a question, and you can repeat back to them, but like they might not know all the intricacies of hand-knotted rug weaving. If they just say it's a handmade rug, and I repeat back to them, yeah, handmade rug, and explain something to them that way with their own words, I'm going to connect with them on a deeper level. The third thing I would say is that what we deliver exceeds our value proposition. So we aim to exceed expectations, but of course, everything that we promise in our value proposition, we deliver on. And I would say we just repeat that formula over and over and over again at the end of the day. And that's been huge. Yeah. And also, again, going back to, this is huge. So the hand-knotted rug art form goes back to 2,500 years ago, and it's still made the same way today. That means that we haven't had disruption as far as the product itself goes in a big way. I mean, you have, if you're thinking about starting a business and getting into an industry, you really have to know, okay, could this industry be disrupted? You really have to know that kind of stuff. So that's the first thing. There's demand for the product, and we just deliver on what we say we're going to deliver on. Is that helpful?
Yes.
That was the most complete answer ever.
Seriously.
It was almost like you knew the questions, and for a change, I didn't give you the questions. Sometimes we give the questions ahead of time. Sometimes we don't, so if they ask us for it. We didn't have them, Mr. President. You're doing quite well.
Well, I read what you wanted to talk about, so I just I use Evernote, and I write down my ideas as I'm walking. They come to me randomly, and if I didn't do that, believe me, I wouldn't have the ideas down.
That's awesome, because I do something similar. I use Todoist, and I write in there, but I've used Evernote in the past. I don't know. Evernote just doesn't stick with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a really good answer, and you said a few things. And by the way, in my industry, we love disruption, because that's we thrive off of it.
Yeah.
Unless you're not a good marketer, then you don't.
Not mine. Disruption usually leads to a loss. We don't like losses.
You don't like losses?
No.
So, did you lose yesterday?
Well, you stopped keeping track of scores, so.
No, I didn't stop. I screwed up.
Same thing.
Right. Josh, you golf at all?
Huh?
I do golf. I am pretty bad.
Okay, you fit right in then, apparently.
But I golf. I do, yeah.
So, again, it's almost like you read these questions, but I just want to reiterate: what was the best source? What has been the best source for new business for Kebabians? But you already said it, so just say it again.
The three things?
No. The best source of new business for you was one thing.
Well, I said word of mouth is
There
huge.
you go.
Yeah.
I thought you forgot already. I don't know. Sometimes Josh looks like he hasn't slept in a week, so I have to.
Yeah. I got 7 hours last night. Not too bad, but
That's
I'm someone who needs 8, so I should be doing better.
that's a
Yesterday
7 to 8 hours
prime
is
time.
adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter sleeps like she's only 2, but she sleeps like 13 hours. I'm like, what a life.
Jeez.
What
I
a life.
remember when I used to sleep 13 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Once you hit 20s, that's it. Less sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once college is over and you go into the real world to actually work, your sleep goes down.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Josh, there's a old saying that says you get what you pay for. Do you believe
Okay.
that to be true, and why?
Man, I think that in general, it's true. Yes. And why? I mean, I can only speak to my own experiences. I am someone who's actually very cheap. I tend to just um, see how much I can get. There's a lot of free content out there. There's a lot of things you can do, but at a certain point, you're misusing your resources, and I think the biggest loss today that we could do by being cheap is our time. So, for example, I recently my Mac's been slow, the business Mac that I use, and I was thinking about getting a new computer, or I was thinking about doing nothing, but then I realized, you know what, something in between. I can just upgrade the RAM. I did, so I spend money, and I'm saving myself a lot of time in the long run because the computer's working much faster. I could have just said, I'm going to be just cheap, and it's really not going that slow. I can persuade myself that it's not making a difference, but you know, there's a lot of you need to do your due diligence. Make sure, because there's people that will take advantage of you, but there are things worth paying for, 100%. And I think that if you can find a business with good integrity and has a value proposition that can meet your need, you should consider paying for it. And also, when you pay for something, you'll take it more seriously too. Like if you're paying for a service, going to the gym, you're more likely to go if you're paying to go to the gym than if you had like a free gym pass for some reason, because you know that you're already paying for it.
There's a lot of people out there paying $20 a month for the gym that don't go. And
That's true.
it's funny though is that I know for a fact Planet Fitness at least counts on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less cleaning.
Yeah, exactly, because they get everybody comes the first, I think it's the first 6 weeks of the year, and everybody just drops off, but they continue to pay because it's so little. It's either $10 or $20. Most people are just like, yeah, it's only $20. Who cares? So they're continuing to pay, but they're not using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the best example. I did my best.
But you make a good point, though. You do make a good point. I'll compare it to cheeseburgers, right? Do you want a McDonald's cheeseburger? Or do you want one from Five Guys? Which one? And you're going to pay a little more, although it's not that much more these days. But you're going to pay a little more if you go to Five Guys.
Mm.
McDonald's is getting expensive.
Yeah, I don't know how that's even possible, but they are.
They're expensive.
Where are we? Okay. What types of clients are your best clients? You've kind of touched on that, but you didn't really. I mean, we know some of what your clients are, but tell us what your best clients are.
They tend to be well educated. They tend to be people that care about what they care about interior design a little bit. They care about how the room looks and how it comes together. There's a lot of people that simply don't care about that. They have a lot of money too. So it's both, caring about quality, caring about design, and having the means to pay for it. I mean, we recognize that not everyone's our customer, and I wouldn't encourage someone that was thinking about wanted to negotiate some kind of payment plan for a $2,000 rug to go through with it. I don't think it's good to it's not in the best interest of everyone to get a high quality rug. There's a lot of people that can get a good quality rug for a good price and everything, but you know, there's a huge range in prices, so you got to be aware of that.
Yeah. So, Josh, when we had lunch, we talked about this too, but what's next for Kebabians?
Yeah, you know, I try to just stay faithful one day at a time, I would say. But I do have a vision like that's, I guess, 3 to 5 years out. I want to, part of what's really my why, I guess I want the people that work at our business to also have really awesome opportunities. That's part of what drives me. I've seen what our product does for people and how much joy it gives them, how it lasts, how it's sustainable. The weavers we work with overseas, all these things drive me to want to grow our business just in general with in any way that I can. You know, in today's world, people are, you know, they're not necessarily shopping online for a product like ours, but they're at least looking at what's out there, like looking at some inventory online before coming in, that kind of thing. So we are, you know, like, you know, going to have a new website, or, you know, and then when we're ready, if we want to expand and get another location, you know, that time will come. I want to be confident in our operations. So what I'm focusing now on is really like operationally, how could we grow a business like this? Inventory management, the accounting, the service, because we wash and repair rugs. All these things, making them as efficient as possible, is my near term.
Okay.
Yeah. But the sky's the limit.
So you mentioned your blog a little while ago, and I was going through it preparing for this show. So I do have, I think, one question for sure, maybe two.
Sure.
But before we get to the actual question, the blog is new for your business, I'm assuming, or relatively new?
We've, to be honest, the blog has been a part of the website forever, but for a long time it's been used kind of as a way to put announcements on the website. It has been used in the traditional way of blogging that I think of, you know, which is sharing knowledge with the customer, with potential, with your audience. And I'm trying to be very diligent about doing that, on articles or blog posts that people will find relevant. So that's new. I mean, I've only done like one or two posts that I would say I were intentionally done with the way blogging should be done in mind.
So one of those posts was in response to an article. I think it was, I don't remember which paper it was. New York Times? I was going to say that, but I didn't want to be wrong. So
no, that's correct.
And what was that about?
The article was about just rug sales in Iran itself. So if you're a tourist going to Iran and you want to, as a, you know, something that you got there, get a rug, a lot of people will go to the bazaar markets. And you know, there's bazaar markets in Turkey. They're in Morocco. The traditional bazaar markets that you might know about them, and people are not buying a lot of these Persian rugs, and sales are down about 90% in Iran. And so that's huge. It's a huge hit from a decade ago. 90% from about a decade ago.
Now, but you disputed what the New York Times writer said. So what did he say, and what was the dispute?
Well, I wouldn't say I agreed with what he said, but he didn't talk about the production goods market, and those are the rugs that are made for dealerships, mostly in the Western world. So, like, if I create a contract for a manufacturer to make, 100 rugs for us in various sizes, designs, colors. Those are contracted goods. They're going to have unique designs, much better colors, much better ingredients than any of those rugs that you see in the bazaar markets, because they're not sold for the bazaar markets. They're contract goods. Very different, almost a different industry. It really is.
Okay. And that actually is going to lead to my final actual show question, but then we have something else we do. What is the difference between Iranian market rugs and Iranian production rugs, and why does it matter?
So Iranian production rugs, you can't have, the thing is that a production rug may not be that good. Let's say that you contracted a good, but you wanted a cheap good. Generally, people are going to contract for the better quality goods. So let's assume that they are that way. Okay, so in general, a production good, it's just going to be better quality all around. This is not always the case, but generally. And there are some very good market rugs out there. But in general, a lot of them are much lower quality. They may have fugitive dyes, which means that if you ever need to wash the rug, let's say that there's ivory or a white part of the rug and there's some red in it, the red might, what we call, bleed into the white part. So this is not a type of rug that was made well, simply. And so I'm going to just be very careful with generalizing, because there can be rugs made for the market. That is to say, rugs that aren't made on contract that are good quality market rugs. But in general, they're not. In general, they're not as good, I should say. So there's a big difference.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
So
I just want to be as honest as possible about the way it works. It's such a unique industry. You really you can never say blanket statements, because there's always exceptions to rules.
Right.
In our industry, there's just constant exceptions. Yeah.
Well, because it's all like custom, so you can't have a blanket custom-made product.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Exactly. Yep.
So Josh, we have this thing we call the fire round on every episode, and it's 4 really fast fire questions.
All right.
They're not that hard. And if you feel like you can't answer any of them for whatever reason, just let us know. We did let somebody pass on the question. I don't remember what it was now. Oh, it was oh gosh. Oh, he was he by the way, he did get his promotion, Eugene. 7th degree black belt in Tong Soo Do. And we asked him Chuck Norris or he's one of 10 in the is it
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, so we asked him Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris, and he said he couldn't answer because he was up for his promotion was part of the reason. But
man,
I would go with Bruce Lee all day.
Please no politics. That's all I ask.
No, I don't think. No, well, not really.
Question,
especially after last night.
Hillary or Trump or Gary Johnson? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so first question, Iran or Afghanistan for rugs?
I'm not answering that. There's no chance.
It's not political.
Yeah, I know. I'm not answering that.
Okay. All right, we'll let it slide. I had a feeling on that one. I had a feeling.
Yeah.
All right, the next one, hopefully.
We have an Afghan refugee working for us, too.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
Are you getting more refugee employees or people applying, I should say?
We are very intentional about working with IRIS, the organization in New Haven, on hiring refugees. And we're in a position that I think many other businesses aren't, such that we work with different cultures as it is in our business overseas. We can assimilate them better than a lot of businesses can and make them feel like family. And that's what we do.
That's awesome.
So we have 2 right now, one from Sudan and one from Afghanistan, and they're both Sunni Muslims. But there's people of different beliefs here. I'm a Christian, and some other people are, and we actually pray as a group too every week, which is really cool. It's healthy. So we have a deep bond here. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
It's really
So this one hopefully is not as difficult, but it might be because, I don't know.
it might be.
It might be. So Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern?
Well, modern because they have gluten and dairy-free pizza.
Jeez, this guy with the political answers, man. I don't know. So for those,
I'm allergic to gluten and dairy. You're just finding out so much about me. My life story is on this.
That's the reason we do this show. So for those of you that are not from the New Haven area, you probably wouldn't understand, but those are three of the top pizza restaurants supposedly in the country. I mean, I haven't had pizza everywhere in the country, but so we have to ask, if you're, because Kebabians is in New Haven and right down the street from all three of them.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Yes. All right. So hopefully you can answer this one without a political answer. Biggest passion outside of business?
Oh man. If I'm gonna be my real self, to be honest with you, becoming a Christian changed my life. Just frankly, I don't know. That's just the truth.
Fair enough.
Hit me with the next one.
The next one, we're going to add one on. I just thought of another one. So business. Yeah, right. First, I'm going to learn how to read, and then we'll try it again. Best business advice you have received?
Oh, man. Always deliver on what you promise.
Fair enough. All right. So this is political, too. I just want to see how you do with this. Yankees or Red Sox?
Red Sox.
Oh, show's over. Just broke my heart.
And you're in New Haven and you're Red Sox?
I'm a Giants fan, New York Giants fan. I'm a hybrid.
He's
Connecticut guy.
too. I've heard the other way. I've heard Patriots and Yankees. I never heard Giants and Red Sox before.
No.
Well, I went to school. I went to Bentley University, and because I wasn't a strong fan in anything but NFL at that point, I kind of got indoctrinated into Celtics, Bruins, and all the above, other than the New York Giants. Yeah.
So sorry. So sorry. So Josh, we want to thank you for coming on.
All right.
How can people get a hold of you? Give us the business address and any other contact information you might have.
All right. Well, my email is joshua.kebabian@kebabians.com. That's KEBABIANS.com. Plural for the after the at part. That's probably the best way. And I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter. Trying to use Twitter more. I think it's Jay Kebabian or Josh Kebabian. I actually don't know.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest.
Yeah, Snapchat.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Snapchat. People can find me on there. If you just Google me, I'm out there. And my last name's unique, so you should be able to find me easily.
So do you play Pokemon Go?
No, I have 2 roommates that do, though.
Has anybody stopped by the store yet trying to play Pokemon Go?
No, someone's telling me that like some places are Poke gyms or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know whether we are. We haven't had anyone come in for Pokemon.
Good.
I found your Twitter. It says you're in Singapore, though.
Is that at JKEBOB or Jacob or Josh Kebabian?
No, Jake.
The KEBOB I don't use anymore. Maybe I need to delete it.
Yeah, you got a monkey or something on your shoulder there.
That was in Cambodia. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
The store is located in New Haven now. People, they can't order online yet, but they're going to be able to. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's not going to be full e-commerce. It's going to be like a wish list kind of thing, I think. But for the most part, a lot of the inventory is going to be up there, and but we're not having like a transactional thing on the website that can affect web traffic.
Look, and then if they see something, call you.
Yeah, exactly, something like that, or email. Yep.
Awesome. So next Friday, Eugene, go ahead, fire away. Sorry, I'll call it again.
Next Friday we'll be live again at 11 o'clock with a mystery guest. So everybody will have to log in to see who that guest is. next Friday at 11 o'clock.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, right. I could promise you it won't be David Ortiz.
Oh man. Well, now I know you guys are Yankees fans. Clearly.
I wouldn't mind having Trump on. It would be good for viewership.
Oh my gosh, it would be.
Viewers.
You'd have a lot of audience, a huge audience.
Yeah. I think we might break the internet.
They will.
Bigger than Kim Kardashian ever did. So, Josh, thanks again. Any final thoughts for our listeners, watchers?
Yeah. Just
stay frosty. Yeah.
Go out there, take it one day at a time, and okay. Just a word of wisdom. This is one I should have said another piece of business advice. What I've learned in general, your life and the sum of your life is really going to be based on the habits you have in the long run. Over the long period of time, the compounding effect of what you do day in and day out is going to produce the results you have. And immediately you might not see that effect, but in 5 years you will. So oftentimes it just simply comes down to habits. That's my final word of advice.
Awesome.
Just a little tip. Yep.
I have a fire round for both of you. How about this? You ready?
Okay.
This is good. It's not political, so don't worry. What's more important to you, legacy or financial?
Probably legacy.
Yeah, I'll go legacy.
Good answer. All right. Glad to hear it. That wasn't so bad, was it?
That's it?
That
That's all you got?
bad, was it?
Yeah, one question?
Huh?
That was perfect.
That's it. I'm done.
All right, we're done.
Finito. It's
All right,
almost
guys.
lunchtime, so.
Yes.
All right.
This was fun, guys. I hope it was. I wanted it to be valuable for
It was
your
awesome.
audience.
Good job,
and,
Josh. It was awesome, yeah.
You guys are fun, so yeah.
Yeah.
Your fire round questions are brutal.
That's why it's the fire round.
The Afghanistan one was the worst question. That was the worst question you could have asked, and you chose two countries that were my toughest.
Well, that's why I chose it, but I half expected you not to be able to answer it, so it's all right.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't. They're so different. So, but is that it, guys? I'll see you. I'm gonna be here next Wednesday. So
We'll be there.
B and I.
Yes, sir.
We'll be there.
Ready.
All right.
Until next week, Growth Success Radio. We'll see you then.
All right. Take it easy.
If you get baked, be cautious.
I'm never gonna live that one down, am I, Eugene?
No, it's gonna be a recurring thing.
Eugene throws golf clubs.
If you have an intro to the podcast, that should be the first intro.
Be cautious.
I'm probably going to have to change the rating on this on iTunes now because of this. You know that, right? We're going to get booted off of iTunes for this.
No longer E for everyone.
No. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Enjoy your weekend.
Take it easy. Bye.